Hi everyone and welcome back. I ran out of steam yesterday. I just ran out of a bit of energy, but back here today. I'm not sure how long I'll get. It is not looking great. Weather's very on and off. It says it's raining, then it's not, then it's raining, then it's not. Let's at least get the cobs off completely. Let's get the exhaust off. Let's get some bits out of the way so that we can start looking at the top end. It's not what I'm used to, so I'm a bit nervous about what I'm going to find in here. I have to be honest. So I'm just going to plug away. This is what I do. It's what I do every time. I just plug away. I take things off. I look at things logically. I get things in my head as to how they go back together. I take photos. I take videos, and then I put them back together. Talking about putting things back together, if anyone's not watching Nat's current build, Nat's Knacker's Yard, that is, it is such a good watch. I don't like bigging up Nat too much. Not really. Me and Nat are very friendly. Great. It's such a good watch. I don't watch many things where I can't wait for the next episode, but this is one at the moment. So yeah, get on that. It's the, well, I don't even know what engine it is actually. That's terrible. Is it an old Suzuki? I really should know that. It's terrible. But his current build, he's taken the engine down to nothing. He's fully built it back up. The frame is starting to look stunning. It is such a good build. So do get over there and have a watch. And then I'm going to plug away here. Now, all of this has been off recently, so I have no worries about the exhaust and stuff and carbs. That's quick and easy. So I'm going to get that done now. Ideally, I want the exhaust just to fall to the side and hang around down there, but it may not do that. It depends on how much play we have. So sneaky little screw down in there, guys. You'd have never seen it, especially as I painted it the same colour. But yeah, don't do as I did there and hammer, or let's say lightly tap on your engine until you've double checked that all the screws are out, as they are now. Right, what's in our way? At this stage, you might be better off pulling the engine out. So now this is where I don't know what I'm doing. So I want to make sure, so I want to set this at top dead center and see what the system is. It could be, I can see a line on the, I can see two lines. It could be that they just need to sit flat with the crankcase to be lined up. Could be as simple as that. The only way to tell is by lining it up at top dead center down here. So that's what I'm going to do. So if we look down here, we're at top dead center. We're lined up. It tells you what way to spin the engine. That's good. Now the only way this appears to be lined up is with a straight line down there. I don't know if you can see them. They're down the straight line on the right and on the left. Basically it falls in line with the crankcase top. It's a straight line. And actually, funny enough, we've got the nut kind of bang smack in the middle as well there. So that's not bad. Now I've seen these on a split pin and have to be undone to be taken off, and I've also seen them be unbolted and the crank pulled out, I think. So this is very different to anything I've done before. So I'm going to check under here to see if the crank does pull out at any kind of point. I mean, I don't pretend to be an expert at this. I'm pulling the engine apart, I'm looking at it, because to get this off we need to at least remove the chain. My ideal situation there would be that the chain had a split link and I could just split it, and then I would line it all back up at the end. I'm gonna rotate it and see if it has that. So I'm here and I'm looking at this, and anytime I've worked on an engine in the past, it comes off in chunks. So this bit would come off, then this bit, and even John's Triumph did that. This is one piece from here to here, and these engine bolts are here. So actually this won't come off, will it? It literally won't clear the frame. So thinking about it, hindsight, this needs, the engine needs to come out. The engine needs to come out. So annoying, because I had the engine out not long ago. And on the other hand, so easy. It's really not much of an issue at all. It's such a light, easily accessible engine. It's worth doing. Well, no choice actually. It's this, and I'm sure, I think it's been flared. So I may try and split it, because I'm sure I'll have a tool here that will re-flare it. I'm sure it's a hit one. You put it on and you flare it out. Or I'd have to get a new one. Not a huge issue actually. How are we back to this? Unbelievable. Anywhere I've nicked the frame down here, I want to make sure I coat before the engine goes back in. Some thick hammerite will just sort that out. The engine's a bit of a pain to muscle in and out, but it has to go in from this angle, I find, and slot in. I should probably take off the ignition, give me that tiny bit extra space. But that is so much easier to work on tomorrow. I can just sit on the chair and do it like this. So that is a good thing. I had to put the lid back on with a couple of bolts just to be able to wrestle it out. I didn't want to put any pressure on the engine, the pistons, the bolts, and so on. This, I'm sure, is one that couldn't be done in the engine. In the past, I've taken out the bolts, I've extracted them and worked around it. It wouldn't have worked in this engine. It had to come out. It's light enough to muscle out. There's no issues there at all. But I'm going to meet a friend, so this has to all go away, and I'll be back on it tomorrow.
The next day.
Hi everyone, and welcome back. It's the next day for me. I got to a place yesterday where I was ready to start breaking this engine down, and even after doing a bit of research, Google, YouTube, anything out there, I'm still unsure as to what direction I'm going down with regards to the timing chain. Okay, so I did split the chain appropriately with the link there. It possibly can be reused. It actually can be reused if needed. Although ideally I will get a new link pin. I'm sure they're available. I've only kept the old one in case they're not. Now I've done that thing that people swear you just shouldn't do. Don't you dare drop the chain. I've never dropped the chain down the engine that I couldn't get out with a simple magnet like this. Especially if you're breaking the head down. So you don't need to worry too much. Well, I said that. And then, in fact, I've got the chain here. Look. But even easier if you were you're breaking the engine down. So when I get down there, I can make sure I can fish that chain out. I really don't worry about that stuff. What's left? These are hand tight, so don't worry. You only worry about them if they get caught or snagged or snapped. So best to remove them actually. I think the ideal situation here would have been to remove the cam and inspect it, but I don't know really. At this stage, I think it's the rings that concern me. Let's take them out just for good practice. And the whole head comes off in one piece. These valves are open, but they are on the system, aren't they? Let me just double check that. I don't know what. Yes, sorry, tension off. Oh, I lost the chain again. Again, it doesn't matter too much. I'll fish it out in a minute. especially once these come off. Now these barrels should be a kind of suction fit, so they shouldn't come off as easy as the others, and actually they're not, which is good. Let's remove the head gasket. That reminds me, I probably need, I do need a head gasket. This bike schools me all the time. Now we'll see how loose the cylinder really is. Although if someone used a gasket sealer on the top end, yeah, they're likely to have used one there as well. So I didn't use any pry bars or anything on it. I'll edit that out. I just whispered to it, please help me out, and it did. No, it did take a little bit of prying, and one of the fins snapped the touch over here. Not ideal, but also not the end of the world, actually. There we go. Now, this is where things do get complicated, because the only way to test the rings properly is to put them in the cylinder and measure the gap, which I can do. You know, it's not an issue. Oh shit! What was that? I don't need that. Let me pull out the tensioner and get this chain sorted because it's winding me up.